Anyway, Johnny Somali was arrested partially for his own safety because after days of him streaming himself being incredibly rude and disruptive in South Korea, there were literally hundreds of Asian people on the street all hunting down a black guy to sucker punch.
Johnny Somali, once the master of chaos in streaming, now finds himself caged by his own spectacle, a spectacle that has detonated in his face, leaving him a pariah trapped in a foreign land. We open on a man who once courted outrage for clicks, but now looks out at the world through the bars of legal consequence and social exile. His kingdom is gone. His audience has become a jury. Today, Johnny isn't live in a bustling city, but instead is boxed into South Korea, his passport rendered worthless, his name dragged through every headline as the archetype of the nuisance streamer. Gone are the days when the little ruckus meant trending on Twitch or Kick. Now, every move invites scrutiny from Seoul prosecutors. Every misstep adds another page to his growing rap sheet.
Although Johnny is incredibly good at getting out of things. For example, somehow he was able to leave Israel a free man after he was arrested for harassing a military police officer.
It's a wild reversal. We remember the Johnny Somali who swaggered through Tokyo spewing taunts about Hiroshima and Nagasaki as if the world were just a stage for his next viral stunt. We watched him flout basic decency, baiting Japanese commuters, sneaking into construction sites, mocking sacred histories with a smirk and a smartphone. He spun the art of the public prank into something darker, uglier, almost weaponized, until Japan had enough, smacking him with a conviction, a hefty fine in yen, and a one-way deportation ticket. And if he ever dreams of setting foot there again, he'll be required to introduce himself as a convicted criminal. But Japan, it turns out, was just the rehearsal. The real disaster began when Johnny set his sights on South Korea.
So he was living in Japan for a while, and one night he gets drunk and he live streams himself putting on a fake Asian accent, and he starts saying racist things on the subway.
Hiroshima and Nagasaki, we destroy it because you don't know how to behave. You know Hiroshima and Nagasaki? We're gonna do it again.
Here, things didn't just spiral, they cratered. Within weeks, his escapades, kissing and oiling up memorials to wartime suffering, dancing half-naked around the so-called comfort women statues, had triggered not just national headlines but actual parliamentary discussion. South Korean lawmakers debated his actions on the floor, using his name as a cautionary tale, while his notoriety snowballed across local forums. He was no longer an edgy tourist, but a headline hazard, a problem to be solved. The public didn't just grumble, they struck back. A Korean YouTuber put a 1 million won bounty, about $770, for information where he's at, one onlooker claimed. The bounty didn't sit idle. Johnny was assaulted on stream multiple times, footage of the slaps and kicks shared across social media like a national sport. One viewer summed it up, "Damn, Koreans going hard AF. We salute you." What's breathtaking is that the legal screws only tightened from there. Johnny Somali, born Ramzi Khalid Ismail, wasn't charged for defiling monuments, oddly enough, but for causing a commotion in convenience stores, for spewing abuse at workers, for getting wild in the Seoul metro, throwing out suggestive moves and loud music, all as families and tourists recoiled. When told not to drink inside a 7-Eleven, he dumped instant noodles on the table and hurled foul words at the clerk. Police say he even responded with violence when more staff intervened. The surveillance state of modern Seoul captured every frame. The charges began to stack: obstruction of business, violations of the Minor Crimes Act, and then more ominously, accusations of digital mischief, AI deepfake creation, spreading North Korean propaganda, even so-called child harassment via lewd text to speech donations in public parks. And just as quickly as the drama escalated, the doors of South Korea slammed shut. Johnny's under a travel ban, his every broadcast is monitored, his freedom reduced to a long wait inside a bureaucratic labyrinth.
This is called merging in a charge. It is atypical for this to happen once, but it is completely unprecedented from the people I've talked to, lawyers, others in this process, to see this many merged into the case, which really means they are hitting him and with needles and needles and needles procedurally.
The truly surreal part? Through all this, Johnny holds onto the fantasy that America will swoop in and save him. He's developed what some call the MAGA delusion, wearing Trump's signature red hat at every appearance, every live stream, even during his court dates. He refuses to take it off even as judges and guards ask him to show respect. He shouts his confidence that as an American, no Asian country would dare keep him detained. It's performance art gone pathological. A man trying to manifest his own rescue by sheer bravado. But behind the scenes, the reality is ice cold. American lawyer Legal Mindset, who's been tracking the trial from the trenches, has made it clear. The U.S. State Department is not coming to Ismail's rescue. Their own internal sources confirm it. To the embassy, Johnny Somali is no lost hero. He's a diplomatic headache, a walking cautionary tale of what happens when you treat the globe as a personal reality show.
This is called merging in a charge. It is atypical for this to happen once, but it is completely unprecedented from the people I've talked to, lawyers, others in this process, to see this many merged into the case, which really means they are hitting him and with needles and needles and needles procedurally.
And here's where the rumor mill shifts into high gear. With all the doors slamming, the whispers start. Is Johnny not just abandoned, but actually targeted? There's buzz, fueled by chatter from former agents and shadowy leaks, that a CIA secret blacklist is in play. The theory is intoxicating, that the US has decided enough is enough, quietly coordinating with foreign governments to let embarrassment rot overseas. No extradition, no phone calls from the embassy, no high-powered lawyers on the plane, just a silent, bureaucratic exile. For a man who built his fame on taunting the boundaries of decorum, being snubbed by his own country may be the only slap that stings.
We have a trend that I called out in the beginning, and I said this would happen, and exactly as I predicted, we are seeing new charges added right before each court date. Every single
Desperation breeds innovation, or at least that's how the gossip goes. Here's Johnny now, allegedly plotting his deepfake revenge. The rumor, half insider tip, half fever dream, is that, cut off from his old income streams and banned by every mainstream platform, he's taken up digital warfare. Leveraging his notorious AI skills, he's said to be generating compromising digital content featuring prosecutors and even judges, hoping to extort, intimidate, or force the legal tables to turn. The stakes? If any of this is true, the cybercrime charges waiting in the wings could balloon his potential jail time from a few years to the kind of sentence that makes you forget what freedom smells like. Legal mindset, ever the pragmatic lawyer, notes, if he's found guilty on just the first offense, the scale of punishment only increases for each repeat. A convicted criminal, a repeat offender, when the court looks at that, the max is on the table. It's a game with zero upside and all the risk. A digital stick-up against a system that's already set on making him an example.
And that extends the whole trial process by easily 2 to 3 months. So if he just pleaded guilty to that, things would be over pretty quickly. He would get his sentence and he would at least know what his fate is. But now they're deciding to extend the process for no real upside, and by him not pleading guilty, that just makes the sentence even harsher on him.
The scene gets even grimmer when we zoom out. Johnny's not just some isolated loose cannon. He's become the poster boy for a new breed of nuisance streamer, the ugly American stereotype cranked up to 11 and live-streamed for a global audience. In Japan, these pranksters are infamous for their subway antics. In Korea, they're now a threat big enough to warrant actual legislation. And Johnny, in the middle of it all, is now the one thing a click chaser never wants to be: a symbol, not a star. The penalties being discussed aren't just about him. They're about sending a message, one that echoes from courtrooms to YouTube comment sections. Play stupid games, win, international consequences. Even the apology tour has become a circus. After kissing and twerking on the Statue of Peace, Johnny was paraded by a group of angry citizens to another monument and forced to bow and beg for forgiveness. On camera, naturally. He claimed ignorance, chalking it up to different comedy cultures. "I just want to apologize for what I have done, and my behaviors did not mean to hurt Koreans' pride this much," he said, hoping for mercy. But his sincerity was shredded by critics, who pointed out that while he deleted some of the worst videos, he left plenty of provocations up for the world to see. If this was repentance, it was half-hearted at best.
This American influencer wants to be famous, but now he's probably going to prison.
His finances are in freefall. Legal experts say that even if he somehow skates past a multi-year sentence, just defending himself could cost 6 figures in US dollars. With every day he spends stuck in Korea, the bills pile up, and the streaming platforms, one by one, have cut him off. At this point, his main audience may well be prosecutors, not fans. And the legal machine isn't slowing down. The prosecutor assigned to his case boasts a 90% conviction rate for similar charges. New filings and investigations keep popping up. More counts of obstruction, fresh claims of public mischief, yet another probe into possible digital wrongdoing. Every hearing is a roll of the dice. If the petition from his alleged victim sticks, what could have been 6 months in a cell could morph into 4 years, or 10, if the more severe allegations gain traction.
For people out there, this is the sentencing range before today. It changes wildly, and you're going to see it in the best way. And that's the best way for me and those who want Johnny Somali convicted, and the worst way for Johnny Somali after this one is added. So
Johnny's delusions don't stop at courtroom drama. Even now, he sometimes broadcasts on backwater platforms, defiant in his MAGA cap, ranting and raving in the Seoul streets, sometimes in little more than his underwear. The response is always the same: a fresh round of outrage, another visit from the authorities. The Seoul Metropolitan Police have gotten to know his face, perhaps better than some of his old fans. On the night before his first major trial date, Johnny went live and got so out of control that he stumbled in over an hour late to court the next morning. The spectacle never ends, it just gets more tragic.
Okay, so we just got out of Johnny Somali's third court day here in the beautiful yet rainy Seoul, South Korea. And it's safe to say, last time things went terrible for him, today things went awful. And honestly, kind of embarrassing because a lot of the stuff they did not make sense whatsoever. Clearly, he was way more locked in. He realized how much he screwed up now it seems like, and he's realizing, uh-oh, I might be stuck in prison for a long time.
Behind the bravado, though, the walls are closing in. If the rumors are true, he's burning every possible bridge, trying to blackmail the justice system with synthetic images that could be traced right back to his laptop. The US Embassy won't take his calls, and no major platform will touch him. The only thing left is his legend, a cautionary tale of what happens when clout chasing finally tips over into international scandal. And still, his trial date looms, with each week promising new twists, new charges, new investigations, new whispers in the halls of power. Every day he spends stranded in Seoul, every time another bounty is placed on his head, every time a prosecutor sharpens their knife, the sense grows that this time, Johnny Somali has gone too far to ever come back. But even as the legal system closes in, the bigger story may be what's happening outside the courthouse. While Johnny Somali sits stranded in Seoul, his name has become a lightning rod for a new kind of vigilante spectacle, one that fuses online mob justice with real-world retribution. We're watching an entire country fueled by resentment, insult, and the sheer viral energy of his stunts, mobilize not just police and prosecutors, but ordinary citizens and digital creators, each vying to outdo the last in tracking, confronting, or even physically attacking the most infamous streamer in Asia. The lines between entertainment and revenge have all but disappeared.
Johnny Somali is frequently getting arrested in foreign countries for his on-stream behavior, but they always let him go. With the amount of sentences this guy's avoided, you'd think he's autistic.
It started as internet chatter, but when YouTubers in Korea began offering actual cash bounties, 1 million won, around $770 for Johnny's location, the game changed. This wasn't just about flagging a bad actor for police. Suddenly, every barista with a smartphone, every vlogger in Hongdae, every part-time creator hoping for a viral clip had a reason to join the hunt. Johnny's live streams, which once let him control the narrative, became real-time maps for bounty seekers and vigilantes. Sometimes the results were just public shaming, but sometimes they were more than that. A slap on the street, a punch mid-broadcast, a wild chase as Johnny tried to outpace his own digital infamy. The situation only escalated as more creators piled on, posting clips and commentary, dissecting every misstep and taunt. Social media exploded with clips of confrontations, each one tagged and shared until it became impossible for Johnny to move around the city unnoticed. The effect was contagious. Others saw the viral attention and tried to copy the formula, turning the hunt for Johnny Somali into a kind of reality TV, broadcast for millions, with a growing undercurrent of menace. We have to wonder, are we seeing justice in action, or just another online witch hunt, where the crowd's outrage is as indiscriminate as it is relentless?
So this turd, his name is Johnny Somali. Well, that's not his actual name. His real name is Ramsey.
All the while, Johnny tries to flip the script. As the net tightens, he doesn't just go silent, he pivots to playing the martyr. On every fringe platform still willing to host him, we see the same refrain. This is a free speech crisis, a comedy culture misunderstanding, proof that edgy humor is under attack. He calls himself a pioneer, a victim of cancel culture, scapegoated by a society that can't take a joke. He films apology videos by memorial statues and bows for the camera, but always with that same edge, more performance than contrition. Is it working? Hard to say. The news cycle is split. Some shake their heads at a reckless foreigner who simply didn't know when to quit, while a small but vocal chorus online cheers him as an outlaw standing up to the establishment. Of course, the receipts say otherwise. Court documents and police reports pile up. Video evidence keeps surfacing, unfiltered and undeniable. There's the moment in Japan, under oath, when Johnny told the judge he was filming a documentary, not making money from shock stunts. A claim he later bragged was pure fabrication. There are the recordings from South Korea, Johnny blasting forbidden propaganda on public transit, mocking families, harassing shop workers, dumping noodles and spewing insults, all for the camera. Every new revelation chips away at the misunderstood comic defense. Johnny's apologies have become a punchline themselves, carefully timed to coincide with courtroom appearances in the hope of leniency. When he bows before a memorial, it's not hard to picture the audience: lawyers, prosecutors, judges, not the people he's offended. But as the outrage grows, so does the sense that Johnny's case has turned into something bigger, a proxy battle over how society should handle internet troublemakers who won't play by the rules. We're watching Korea's legal system respond in real time, with lawmakers even drafting new rules to clamp down on the next wave of nuisance streamers. This is about more than one guy. It's about whether national pride, public safety, and digital life can coexist, or whether a handful of reckless influencers can break the system for everyone. The talk among expats is nervous. Streamers across Asia are suddenly thinking twice before turning a public place into their personal playground. And then there's the elephant in the room, the growing chorus of conspiracy whispers suggesting Johnny's not just persona non grata, but the canary in the coal mine. Legal mindsets that ever watchful YouTube lawyer hints at a bigger play. They're looking at this and saying, yeah, we kind of need to give some severe punishment here. The rumor of a secret blacklist, a behind-the-scenes agreement to let the worst offenders rot overseas, now seems less like wild speculation and more like unofficial policy. After all, what country wants to deal with the diplomatic fallout of a homegrown troublemaker causing international incidents? With Johnny locked out of the US and stripped of streaming income, the message is clear. Go too far, and you're on your own.
A kick streamer is facing 20 years in a South Korean prison after filming himself harassing women, trashing businesses, and disrespecting war monuments.
As we watch Johnny's world shrink, there's a final irony in how much attention he's still getting. With every new charge, every viral bounty, every angry forum post, his notoriety grows. The scandal he engineered to feed his fame now eats away at the last of his freedom. The question isn't just whether he'll ever leave South Korea a free man. It's whether his story marks a turning point in how the world handles digital profiteers. Is this the moment when societies say enough and slam the door for good? Or is Johnny Somali just the first in a new parade of exiled influencers, sacrificed to appease an audience hungry for both chaos and order? The saga is far from over. Johnny's trial looms, new charges are always just a tweet away, and the mob outside isn't going anywhere. The courts might yet decide his fate, but it's clear that justice here has as many faces as the internet itself. Official, vigilante, and everything in between. So we have to ask, is Johnny Somali the architect of his own destruction, or has he become the opening act in a much bigger war on rogue streamers? Let us know what you think down below. Are we witnessing justice or something more sinister? Thanks for watching, and until the next scandal breaks, keep your cameras rolling and your sense of outrage ready.